All right. All right. Coming to y'all live from Yuba City, having just released his brand new mixtape, SLAMZ number 7, out now on SoundCloud. We welcome the first guest in folk and funky history, one of the biggest DJs in the game right now, Yuba City's own Amar Gill, aka SLAMZ, in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Love what you guys doing, man.
Yeah,
love the name of the podcast. That's
appreciate you.
Caught me right away, man. Sick name.
Yeah. I mean, it was. It's Jazzy B's album, obviously, you know, and then I think just modern, like what today is, like we have our folk and now we have our like funky music. Yeah, and it's just like to Jazzy B. I mean, obviously making that album and then
I guess he was ahead of his time.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah, folk and funky. Yeah, that's right. It is kind of funk music now.
It is. It's like a funk. Everything's like funky, or you could just say it. Yeah,
trap
funky.
Or funk.
Yeah. I just call anything that isn't folk now. It's just funky. Yeah. So
No, dope, man. Keep it up. I like what you guys doing.
Yeah. So I mean, we want to obviously jump right into it from how you started. I know, like me, I've known you for some time.
Yeah.
I like as a kid, I remember even looking up to you because you're a badass Dholi from back in the day. I remember. I think one of my first memories is actually of you playing Dhol with Lember at the Yuba City Midla. Yeah. And that was I never saw. I always thought like each artist had their own band, but like, you know, seeing you do that, how was that? Like how did that start to like
actually it was your dad, guys. Your dad I think at that time it was your dad and approached me and was like, can you do it? I was like, yeah. And it was cool. I mean, obviously back then I was younger, I didn't care, whatever it was, just gonna do it, you know what I mean? So I did it and it was great. And then I mean, I still have the DVD. I have it loaded, converted to like a wave, with an MP4 file on my computer, like on a hard drive, and I still watch it once in a while. Wow. Not to watch myself. I watch Lember because he's sick. Right? Yeah. No, it was dope. But that's how that came about. It was just
how did you start? Like, I mean, you didn't just pick up a Dhol that day and you were playing.
No.
Like, how did you like even get to like you wanting to play the Dhol like, you know,
when I was like growing up, like I didn't really like Panjabi music, and one of my sisters, she was really into it, and all the rest of my sisters kind of listened to it, but like one of my sisters, she was like slapping it all the time, like, and then it was kind of like growing on me, and then she was like, yo, you gotta check out this guy Jazzy B, right? And then I seen Jazzy B, and I kind of just got sucked into Panjabi music because of him. Then I started listening to like Bindra Kya and like all that, and then it was like I think it was like the late 90s, and I went to a wedding reception, and my Lal Singh Patti was there, like the guy who taught me the style, right? And I seen him play, and I was just, whoa. Like, that's the first time I seen, like, you heard of a Dhol before, right? But like, when I heard him play, I was just like obsessed. And so then a couple years later, there's a guy who knew I was interested, reached out, and he's like, yo, he's coming here to Roseville every day to teach. And I'm like 14, 15 years old, and I'm like, dude, I want to go. I don't have a driver's license. My parents like working, they're not gonna drive me, and they're like gonna be anti it anyway. So I'm like shot in the dark, like had my sister and my brother-in-law talk to my dad, like, yo, let him do it. Like, my dad was kind of like anti it. Anyhow, long story short, like they approved it, and I just started going to these lessons in like a room that's maybe a quarter size of this, no AC, in dead smack in the summer, and just learned, and I really excelled, and I loved it. Like, and then that's pretty much how I got going in the Dhol, and then did it for a while.
Yeah, no, that's dope. I mean, even we got lucky that we got to learn from Lal Singh Patti. Like, we got like we got 2 lessons
too, right?
We got like 2 lessons from him, and then actually I learned how to play tumbi from him too.
Yeah, he plays everything.
Yeah, he was trying to get me to sing. He wanted me to start singing, but
he does. He's like one of the proper musicians who can sing. He can do everything.
I mean, he taught Shinda. Yeah,
he taught a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people he probably doesn't even say, but just like the popular names like Amin here, Shinda, like, you know, there's so many other people. A lot of us like Dhol players in California line. He taught us that, and just because of that, like, we still, like, there's guys like me who still utilize it. Like, I mean, getting into DJing, it was like like foundation is still the Dhol, like on my timing.
Yeah.
You learn the timing, like, you know, you've done Bhangra before.
Yeah.
So you know how the timing's all related. The DJ music, the beat, rhythm and stuff goes the same way. So it's he's a huge influence. Yeah.
You're saying like other Dholis, like, because you had that group, Lethal Dholis. So you had like, like Mitch Hire, he was trained by Ustad Lal Singh Patti too?
Yeah, Mitch. There's another guy, Raju, really good Dhol player from Cali. We're all the same age and the same like group, like when we were learning. So like, yeah, he's taught in like legendary Dhol players. Like if no one knows who Mitch Hare is, you should look him up. He's probably one of the most entertaining, sickest Dhol player probably I've still seen to this day. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. Yeah,
I mean, yeah. You guys playing Dhol is like what got like, you know, my age group to like want to, you know, get to like playing Dhol. Like, I mean, we did all Bhangra, but Dhol was like not there. Even actually your guys group, you guys did Mulvegada at the Mela. That was Shoot. I mean, that Harjeet uncle, he got us to do that too.
You know, it's crazy. Like at that time, you think no one's paying attention. Now you're telling me like 20 years later, I'm like, yo, that's cool. I didn't know we like influenced you guys. You know, like that's cool, good to know. But like, I mean, yeah, like I mean, we had the opportunity at that time, and then, you know, and we had more free time. I mean, I don't know if I could do it now, but like at that time, like the free time we had, I'm glad we did it. You know what I mean? And it was like experiences, like you guys done Bhangra, like whoever's done Bhangra, I know you done Bhangra, she done, your sister's done Get Done, like you like know, like that's like a core memory you're never gonna forget your whole life. It's like built in, like, you know what I mean? And you guys did it when you guys were really young. You know, I remember seeing both of you guys when you guys were super little, and like you're still attached to the culture. That's good.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, again, I mean, we're gonna keep saying it, but we really appreciate what you've done. You've changed the culture here generally. Wow. I mean, when we say, oh, that's SLAMZ, oh, he's from Yuba City, that's a big deal. To say Yuba City, because Yuba City doesn't sometimes get recognition like that. Oh, there might be a lot of desis there, but there's not like someone like you that's talented like that.
And it used to bug me, dude. Like when I was in like when I was going to Sac State, when I was going to college, people would be like, "Oh, you're from Yuba City," or like just be out and about in general, be like, "Oh, people there are like this, like this." Like I hate when people stereotype towns, right? Like, and I feel like Yuba used to get that back then. I don't know about now because, you know, I'm not really out and about as much in that scene, right? But like no, man, people here are cool, you know. Like I mean, it's not like we're any different than anywhere else. You know what I mean? And there's good and bad everywhere. But I know what you're talking about, that general like judgment you get on the demographic. Like I know exactly what you're talking about. So it's cool. I mean, I guess it's cool in that aspect that it brings like, okay, like he's from there, and people respect it. I mean, that shouldn't be the case. People should respect any town, any city, any place, any type of people, you know.
Definitely.
But,
so then your Dholi days led to you making a Dhol album, right? Loud and Proud.
Oh yeah.
So that kind of was like your venture into adding Dhol into like Western music on like Western beats and stuff.
Yeah.
Was that something that kind of laid the foundation? Because now as a DJ, you pride yourself on being able to mix Panjabi music and hip hop and things like that so seamlessly. Do you think that album that you dropped however long ago kind of like helped you develop an ear for that kind of thing?
I don't know. At that time, like when I did that, like it's a really long time ago. I'm surprised you remember. But I mean, I just did that as like a little side project. And like when I was doing that, I was like really into the Dhol and not even into DJing, to be honest with you. Like I probably knew how to like DJ, but like not into it like when I got serious about it. But it was cool. Like I mean, it was really hard to do at the time. I feel like if I did it now, it'd be a lot easier because I'm more knowledgeable on that stuff. But at that time, it was tough to do. But I don't think it really influenced me into DJing. That was still like a Dhol part. But it was fun. I should upload everything to SoundCloud. Because I still have a lot of that stuff just sitting.
No, like I was. I mean, it's because of the Midla days. We were big fans of Balwinder Safri. When he came out. I think that still is like one of the best performances I think I ever saw, because it was a live band and, you know, live singer, which you kind of don't really see much anymore.
Yeah.
And I remember you did a Dhol, you played Dhol, I think it's maybe like in Loud and Proud, you played a Dhol to like one of the tracks and that stuff, like.
Yeah. Safri, I mean, like the same thing when I got going in like the 90s, like the late 90s, Safri is a big staple in Panjabi music, still is. I mean, a lot of the youngsters probably don't know who he is unless their parents tell them. But man, it was fire, man. Yeah. And I remember the Yuba one. I wasn't able to stay like that year for the performance, like when he went on. But I remember watching the DVD and there was like he went on to like forever, just ripping it. Yeah. I have that also on MP4 file on a hard drive somewhere.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Jazzy B at the beginning, right? I mean, that's our namesake. He's an artist that we've all kind of admired from the 90s, even through today, right?
Yeah.
Someone that had influenced you heavily into getting into Punjabi music at first, and then I've heard you mention now you can consider him a friend.
Yeah.
Right. So how did your guys' relationship sort of develop over the years? And I know you've gotten the opportunity to perform with him a couple times. Like, what's it been like to be with an artist that you've been influenced so heavily by, and then be able to share the stage with them, kind of doing what they do best?
I think it was like during COVID, like I was doing like these Instagram like live things because I was bored like the rest of the world,
right.
And then I was doing like these Shazam things where I would just like play songs and people would guess them, and they got kind of going. And then I did one like was going to be on him, and I just reached out to one of his nephews. I was like, hey dude, I don't know, this is a shot in the dark, like would he be down to come on this and just jump on? And he was like, yeah. And he did it, and then I think like a year later, I think we had like our first event together, and then we started getting a bunch actually together, and then our relationship just developed kind of like that. His one of our close friends, like Jay, he's from Fresno. He was actually a close friend of Jazzy, so he kind of linked us, and then we're kind of all friends now.
Right.
And I mean, performing with him is just like, you know, like there's some artists that are so good you can never get tired of. You know, maybe Michael Jackson or like, you know, like in the hip hop world, like, you know, there's like, you know, like Drake, like you know, some people like Drake from modern or like Kendrick or wherever you're at, right? But like he's like one of those, like,
right,
you can watch him 100 times. It's like, dude, I was in England like earlier this year, and he was like, he had 2 shows, and I was like, someone actually put me on a flyer to DJ like before Sukkah or after Sukkah, and I was like, damn, dude, I already told Jazzy I'd go to his show with him. And that's kind of what's in my mind. Like, I could DJ for like, you know, or I could just go watch him live.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just gonna stick to my original plan and go watch him. You know what I mean? And but like he has like an aura to him still. Like even when we hang out, it's like homies when we're just kicking it.
Yeah.
Like we're not even nothing like performing. We're just like out eating or out just chilling like boys, and like it still has like an aura. But then he has a good way of like joking, like how we would hang out, and just he can relate to any age. You know?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So like he's dope, man. He's like really with it. He's he's really into sports, fitness, like 2 things I'm really into. And so we just like gel, you know.
For sure.
So it's cool, yeah. I mean, it's definitely a good feeling.
Yeah.
You know, like you get to hang out with someone and you're like, yo, you know, like he'd come to Yuba before back in the day, but like I didn't have like a link with him, you know what I mean? But now it's like it's cool, you know, like he'll hit me or I'll hit him and be like, come by and we'll kick it or wherever he's at, you know, so that's cool.
That's sick, man. Yeah, I mean, we really appreciate you. Like, you were able to bring his attention to one of our reels that we posted a couple months ago when we were talking about his album that he dropped this past year. I mean, he actually reposted that on his social media, and for me and Simran, like, we named the show after him, right?
Yeah,
like, he's a guy that we really look up to, so that was a really cool moment.
Yeah, he's so dope that like if you guys wanted him on, like he would come. Like if he's in town and you guys are doing it, he's just a dope guy.
That's great to hear.
Awesome guy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Jazzy B. I mean, like Yuba City Midla, I think they brought him, I think 3 or 4 times, just because he kills it on the stage. I think he's one of the best performers.
It's tough. It's tough to match his energy. Like we go to weddings all the time, right? And they'll have other performers. They're good. Don't get me wrong, but he just has like different
stage presence.
Just stage, style. Like, everything's just there. You're like, okay, this is a performer, you know. And like that night when he came the first time in '95, like if you could pull the tape, I'm in the front, like
Oh, yeah.
in the front row. Like I can show you, like, okay, I hear me, same thing, snapback, you know, like a hat, and it's just watching it, like in awe. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's sick.
How old were you when you saw him?
Probably like 12, maybe around there.
Wow.
Maybe 11, 12, 13, around there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's like the age right there.
Yeah. So I was just like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then I saw him, I think he came again a few years later, I want to say. And then I saw him, I didn't get to see him again. Oh, he came in 2004 too.
I think
again.
so. It was like 2003, 2004.
And then I think they brought him back in 2012.
Yeah.
And then I don't know after that if he's came.
They brought him again after he dropped his Folk and Funky 2 album.
Oh, okay.
He came in like, I think it was like 2019, or it might have been
18 maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't able to go to that one.
And you're still like the same guy, and you're just like, man, like,
yeah,
like everyone's like, dude, like my parents are just like, man, like, just bring him again. He's such good on stage.
Honestly, you could bring him in. He's like one of those guys you could bring every year. That'd be good, you know.
Like there's like only I got, so when I was in India, I got to see Surjit Khan perform.
Oh, sick.
And like I was just like, it's I mean, I've seen a lot of artists perform, but Jazzy B is still like, you know, I mean, he's goated. He's obviously goated, but in general, like, stage performance is such a hard thing for an artist. So like when he does it, it's just like
he's just like old school art. Like, he is not old school, but like he came up in the 90s, right? So like over there wasn't like, it was harder to perform live than it is for guys now. You know, most of the time they didn't have songs in the background playing and they sing over them. Now you do, but back then it's always live band, like. And that's hard. Like
live band, it's
very hard. Yeah, it's
that you don't like. You sometimes have to have that backup singer too to like extend. You know, that's like a.
And you gotta sing in key. You could just mumble if you're singing over like a CD. You could just kind of like. Some people are good at faking it. They do a really good job, but like you gotta stay in your key. You know, you gotta stay all on rhythm and everything. It's super hard.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Like proper. Like, I've seen him after performing live. He just. Dripping sweat, you know what I mean? So
did Ustad Lal Singh Patti ever get you to sing? Like, ever ask you to sing?
He tried. Like, dude, nah, man. Like, I'll stick to the shower singing. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Jazzy B, I feel like he transcends like generations. Like, I was born in 2000, right? So I wasn't able to see him in the 90s, obviously, but we have cousins that are older, like 40s, 50s, that are able to appreciate him just as much as I am.
Yeah.
And like when we saw him at the RAF concert last year in October, and it was like a surprise appearance, and the crowd just like popped. Like as soon as he came out, that was such an amazing moment for just all the generations of Panjabi music fans that were in the building that night. Like, that was incredible to see.
I was fired. Like, that was a cool thing of RAF to do, just bring him out. And you bringing out Jazzy B, I mean, as a surprise, like, think about that. He came to a concert in San Francisco, and I think it was like, what, $25-$50 for a ticket?
Yeah, $25.
Jazzy, been the judge, and you got to see RAF. Like, dude, you can't ask for a better night, you know? Like, so that was dope. That was dope thing to do. And
we also got to see you. Like, a lot of people got exposed to you. I mean, even
that was the first time that I even I never even heard of you until
So that was good. That was a good op for me. The RAF guys reached out and they treated me really well, and you know, it was a good night, you know.
You killed it, man.
It was fire. It was good. Yeah.
So like concert style performances, right? Is that something that you want to continue to do in the future, or is that like? Do you have any plans to keep doing that kind of thing?
Like, you mean like kind of like how that was?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, if the op is right, you know what I mean. Like, it has to be. Not every one of them is gonna make sense, you know. Like that, RAF gets it, you know. He knows how the stuff works, and he was respective of that. So like, you know, like that'll work. But like, you know, most of the time, like, sure, I'll do them. Like, I just did Bruin Pungra after party. That was really good. Yeah, and I've done a couple other, but. You know, some of the concert styles, the people who are throwing the concert, they'll know a DJ and they'll be like, "Oh, we're just gonna get him," you know, which it makes sense. Yeah. Cool, right? Like, so if the op is good and there, I'll do it. Yeah.
Would you ever do it like a? It's just like I've seen you like when you were coming up, like starting DJing, you were you were like scratching, and I was honestly like stunned. I was like, man, you're hella talented. Would you ever do anything like how Young Sing does scratches up like that?
From what I've seen, that is kind of like a really trendy right now, like that house, like that trap, like house music, right? Or like drum and bass, like garage, like that really doesn't do it. Like, I mean, respect to him, but that doesn't really do it for me. I'm still just folk or hip hop. Like, I mean, that's just me, right? And if that ever trends and like that's an op, then I'd do it. But the drum and bass, the house, that's, I mean, I like listening to it, but it's not something I want to gear to. I want to stick to like folk, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's, or like, something even like funk with like hip hop, like, you know what I mean? I'm cool with that. But like, that's kind of what I based. If you like talking about scratching started in hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm a big hip hop fan too. So like, that style, like what he does, doesn't do it for me, but I get it. Like, I mean, if it was a right off for me, I would do it.
Yeah. Well, that style is, I mean, going back to rap, we're big rap fans on the show, right? So was that when that opportunity came up, because that's also what him and Bobby Kang and Dhillon and all those guys are like big on, right? Like East Coast hip hop with Punjabi folk. Like, was that kind of what validated that opportunity for you in your mind? Is like these guys kind of know like the same vision that I like to do?
mean, I've been a fan of rap since like 2020, right? Like I loved his like a glossy rhythm. I think is the first song he dropped. Fire, right? And then like everything he drops is like dope sound. It's the hip hop, and he always has like a folk aspect, right? For sure. So that like made me gravitate to him. But and then like I'm a fan of his music, and of course, if he asked me for like to open, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? You're gonna. It's cool, And like I said, he knows how it works. He's not like a guy from India doesn't know how stuff works. Like he knows how stuff works out here. So he's cool. Yeah.
This like so like I mean just talking about that scratch and when you I know like also when I was a kid you were with DJ GT and running like Fusion Roadshow. I don't know. I remember you playing Dhol, but like did you I also did see sometimes where you did like take up like the
I would like give him like a break and stuff like that, but like I wasn't really into it. That was just more of like I was really into the Dhol at that time. And then when he kind of moved to the Bay, and then I was still here, so it didn't really make sense for us to be like the same anymore, right? Because he's over there and I had a different mindset of it. So we kind of just ventured off, and then that was more like Dhol playing, kind of like side hustle type of days. But now it's just like main focus.
Yeah. So when you were like learning DJing specifically, I know on one of your podcast episodes when you had Suki, Raju, and Mitch on, right? You mentioned how like when you were learning, you couldn't sleep until you had at least an hour of practice every day because you had people like Raju and Mitch that you were kind of like striving to be on their level. Was it kind of a similar process with DJing, like constantly practicing and improvising? And was there anybody that you were like looking up to try to like chase and get on a certain level as well?
Yes and no, but not from the Punjabi side. Like Punjabi side, I didn't see anybody doing like what I was doing at that time,
right?
On the DJ side. And the scratching, I just wanted to have it because I didn't want it to be like a DMC scratching competitor level, right? But like I wanted to have a little bit of a bag, right? Because I felt like a lot of people don't, right? And that you have that in the bag. It's just a tool. Like if you have a PhD, that's a tool.
Right.
You have a master's. It's just like a tool you have that you want to have.
Right.
So like to me, I always thought I was a Dholi, right? So what if I couldn't do the role? So what's a drummer without a drum roll? Is a DJ without scratching? Right? It's kind of like that, right?
Definitely.
So it's like I thought it went hand in hand like peanut butter jelly. So I had to learn. And I was like, same thing. I couldn't like. I still practice a lot, and just to do it, stay on top. Because you can't really scratch at like desi parties. You can do basic stuff, but the more advanced stuff, like if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Like, so if I practice all those years again and don't use it, it's going to fade away.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like the crowd has to be right too, right?
Yeah, Desi parties just got to keep the rhythm going. You know what I mean? Like Punjabi parties, like you could do some here and there, but not like you can with like hip hop or like.
You also have like a signature like thing you do like every party that's like kind of like become like your thing, and now like you even see like other DJs will like do it and then like give, you know, like
the drop.
Yeah.
Honestly, that just happened one day. It happened at an event I was doing in Fresno, and it just, I think one of my boys caught it on camera, and he's like, "Yo, this was pretty tight." And I was like, "Oh, let me hear it." On the one we were driving back, I said, "Oh, that's cool." And then like I tried it at the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then I just like kept doing it, and just kind of just took off, kind of, you know what I mean?
It's cool, and it's cool.
And now other people do it, which is really cool, you know. And I don't care if they give me credit or not, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I remember the other DJs were like battling. I saw on Instagram someone tagged me, and they were like, "Oh, this guy brought it up. You should give him credit." I'm like, "No, you don't have to give me credit. It's all good, you know. It's just, it's love, you know what I mean? Like some people will know where it originated from, some people won't. It's all good, you know."
It's just cool, like to see like something that you created that now like other DJs or
I mean, there's other stuff I do that like the drops that I've come up with that are good. I think are better, but that one just always hits the hardest.
Right.
Not because of the music or anything, but just they're more intricate, harder to do. You know.
So as an artist, right? Like when you're making your mixtapes, your SLAMZ tapes, right? So like there's one in particular that always comes back to me. I think it was SLAMZ tape 3 last June that you dropped. You mixed Adele Rolling in the Deep with Shub Still Rolling. Right?
Yeah.
So that's two completely different artists, genres, tracks, styles, and you had the audacity to somehow be able to bring those together and make it work. Like, how are you able to, is that kind of just like an innate ability that you have to be able to hear those connections between songs, or is that like a work in progress kind of thing?
It's just like knowledge, right? Like you'll sometimes come up with a correlation. It's always like I love Adele. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, especially that song "Rolling in the Deep," right? And she was saying "rolling," he was saying "rolling." You know, and if you think about Shub's song, he never says "rolling" in it, right? He never actually says the word, and she does. So I'm like, oh, this will be cool. And then like I'm like, well, people pick it up, and then people did. And so I was like, cool. But it's honestly, when I make my mixtapes, I make them for me, like to listen to in the gym or just to listen when I'm driving. And I just got lucky that people love them. You know what I mean? So I never made them like, I'm gonna listen to this person. People tell me, "Oh, dude, do this." I'm like, I'm gonna do what comes to me naturally. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that just goes like what you're asking. It just goes on music, like music I like and music I have knowledge for.
Right.
Yeah. Right. It's not nothing like, let me try. It's always like, okay, this should go. Yeah. And then like the rhythm structure of it, like the structure of it, so you know if it'll go or not. Yeah.
That's good. I mean, that's because that means it's unique to you, right? And if other people love it, great. I know for us, like, you know, because we're brand new, right? Like we just started this less than a year ago. So one thing that we want to make sure that we preserve is our authenticity, right? Like we don't want to create content that, you know, is chasing engagement, right? Likes, comments, views, things like that. Like we want to make content, talk about stuff that we're passionate about. And if other people like it, great. If not, we got, you know, our little, whatever you want to call it, cult following.
We're fans. We're fans.
So that's
right?
all we are. Like we're not Dolis or DJs or anything. Like we're just fans of the culture.
You know, that's good though, because I think people are just looking at like numbers now, and they don't look at quality. Like I never care. Like I mean, I don't go back and look at how many plays this gets or what this gets, like, or how many likes or views. Like I had a video go super viral of me with Diplo, and I hate that video. Oh really? I hate it. I can't stand it because that took no effort, you know. And there's other like videos that I put in so much effort to, and it just didn't get. And I'm okay with it, didn't get the love, but that one did. And like I'm still trying to puzzle like why, you know, like was it just because the algorithm picked it up, or was there something cool about it? Like it's just me and like Diplo dancing, and we're enjoying, maybe because it's natural. And it picked up, but you know that's one thing I never chase is unorganic stuff. That's pretty cool that you guys do that too.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's easy to get sucked into that. Like I'll be like, I work a 9 to 5, right? I work from home, so you know we'll post a reel on a Monday morning, and I can't, like, sometimes I'll catch myself just like on my computer, and I'll be checking my phone, like, all right, how many people have liked it, like how many views has it gotten, like, especially since we're new. So
it's good to know. It is good to know, but you can't like base your authenticity on it. You know, like everything comes with like like consistency.
Right.
So like, look, you guys were doing like the video thing, right?
Yeah.
And now you guys got this.
Yeah. That was a big step
in the right
for us.
direction, right? Like, it takes time. Things don't happen
time.
overnight. And you guys, like you said, you work.
Yeah.
You know, and you guys work. You got other responsibilities.
Yeah.
And that's gonna come first, obviously, right?
Yeah. For
Until
sure.
unless one day you guys become Joe Rogan or something, you guys
that'd be amazing.
Best, and then I wish you guys do.
Yeah. No, this is our first in-person episode.
That's good.
So not a bad place to start.
Yeah, man.
Right. So,
And you
Got
guys
an
are
awesome
gonna-
guest.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I hope you guys get many more, and if I could help, just let me know.
Yeah.
You know, also I know like I think you had a recent podcast. You mentioned that you went to a music production school.
Yeah.
During COVID.
Yeah.
How was that like impactful, and just how did you come across that? You know, you could use that for DJing.
Well, it helped in DJing when at that time I didn't know it would, but it helped. But I didn't know it was going to be that hard.
Oh, yeah,
really?
So like for me, I don't know, maybe other people pick up on it quick. It took me a long time. Like I had to ask a lot of people questions like that were not in that school that I probably annoyed.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I was like, dude, I got to know this. And now a lot of it's making sense 4 years later.
Oh, wow.
You know, so and then I never set myself up to race to get that part done. I'm like, that's gonna take time, and I'm okay because in the middle I have a child, and then it's like I'm all over DJing, like here, there.
Yeah.
So it's like I knew that kind of had to take a second place, but I got tracks dropping now, like a lot of stuff in the pipeline. So like it's finally gelling, I feel. And the thing about it is I still like love doing mixtapes.
Yeah.
So I have to devote like time to that,
Yeah.
and then these two. So eventually one day I want to be just full on producing, like natural, all organic stuff.
Yeah.
You, that song you have, Pota Jartada with Bakshi Villa, that thing hits.
Man, that was one of my really good, like the sound of it.
That's
really,
it hits.
Yeah, I have another one coming out. It's like a 3 singers on it: Raju Joel, Sani Swinder, and Bavil Boparai. So that's cool. That's gonna drop on the 15th of August. So,
wow, that's awesome.
I'm excited about that. So that's gonna be a good one. So
how with Bakshi Villa, how did you choose that you wanted like this artist?
you can get vocals, like if you have connects like in the scene, like you can get vocals from people like now. That's how you can get them. But I'm a fan of his voice.
Oh yeah, his voice.
Yeah, I've always been on the 2008 album, I think.
Yeah,
that's fire, man.
That album.
And ever since then, I was like a fan of his.
Yeah, no, he's a dope artist.
He's dope. Yeah. So that song was good. It did good. It helped.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean that's cool. You got these other guys. Like I know Sani Surinder. I see him. I think I see him a lot with like Suki Dholi a lot.
Sani's one of our friends, man. So he came out like a few years ago. I had like a fundraiser. He came for that, and then he just became like friends with us somehow through Suki, and so he jumped on the track. He's always down.
Yeah, he has that truck. I think it's with Jay Static when they were called like The Firm, right? He has a
track with them.
Yeah, he has a track with them. It's called. Can't remember the exact name, but he has a track with them. The Firm. I mean, and that's when I first heard of him. And he back in like 2010, I want to say, or 11 or 12 around. It was around then.
He had a lot of songs there. So that's when I think he was with
E3 UK.
E3, E3 guys, and then that's when he kind of blew up. So I mean, he's very talented.
Yeah, I mean. Also, just random. Jay Static also, he started like his own like music production school.
I think he does a school. Yeah. I'm not sure if he's still happening or not, but I know I seen it. Yeah. Sick, dope guy.
Would you ever like do like a school for like DJing?
Not right now, but maybe down the line. Right now, I just have too much other stuff going on, so I can't. But down the line, I mean, eventually that would be cool because I think a lot of people want to get in it. And we need female DJs. Like, honestly, like, there would be...
We got one right here in the back.
Really?
Yeah, DJ New York.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
I sent her, like, some of the stuff that you were doing, and she was like, damn, this guy needs his own show.
In New York. You should throw your own party.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually. No, that's I think I was talking to someone, and they were like, we were on a DJ, and would you teach a female? I said, if the female was serious about learning and was gonna go through it, yes, because I think the culture needs it. You know what I mean?
For
And
sure,
I think it's, man, it would be, someone could do it proper, like it would be really, really
Be
good.
it,
It would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like just to see, you know, like wow, like finally, it'd be like breaking a barrier.
Yeah, I mean, even with like female artists, like you see like Jasmine Sandless at the Mela last year, like she killed it. Everybody loved it. It was a hit. So.
I did a private event with Jasmine one time in Napa, and that's the first time I seen her perform, and she was fire.
Right,
She
yeah.
rips it, dude.
She has a stage presence,
Oh.
and she's like loves her fans,
And she's a whole vibe.
Yeah.
Dude, she is fire. Like
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I did not expect this.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
really.
yeah.
She was super cool.
She
Yeah.
blew, everyone here like blew him out of the water. That man, she's a superstar.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think people don't give her enough credit.
She came in
but
the
she's-
middle of last year, right? 23, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She,
Okay.
yeah.
She like brought, I mean, like my mom, like Armacian, they all love her, right? And
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
kind enough to like bring people on stage,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they were kind of like doing like a little mosh pit on the stage,
Oh,
just
fire,
like going
fire.
crazy. Yeah, they all loved it. It was
Yeah, and if you listen to her like music,
Yeah.
I was listening to one of her songs the other day. Dholi, I think it's called. Dude, it's so good.
No, vocally, she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She has that track where she's in like this Bollywood movie. I think that's the first time I like heard her
Is it
voice.
Legal Weapon?
Huh?
Was it Legal Weapon?
No,
That's
it's not legal.
Bollywood.
It's like a Bollywood song that she's in. I can't recall
Was
it.
that
but
an older
like,
song?
It's an older song.
Okay,
It's
okay.
like only like it's like very.
It's a movie called Devil, I think.
I think so.
Okay,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
And it's just like y'all was like, oh, I think that's the first time I heard of her.
Yeah.
and-
I didn't even know that was her till like way years later.
Yeah.
Because I never watched the like video. I didn't recognize her. I just heard it.
I just heard the video.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
it on like on YouTube.
Yeah,
Popped
no.
up on my feed.
But if you listen even to some of her newer stuff, like it's really good.
Yeah.
The way she carries her voice is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
sick. Yeah.
Another female artist that my co-host here loves that still hits today, Miss Pooja, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
she's also
Yeah.
timeless. Yeah,
Really good too, man. She
Yeah.
can sing.
yeah.
yeah,
Don't even say anything else. She's
yeah,
she's
Yeah.
goated.
Yeah, she's goated. Yeah,
She's goated.
yeah. I there was like a time when she came to Yuba City the first time. All my friends, they all wanted to go to Bruin that year.
Oh yeah.
But I ended up staying back because I was like, dude, it's Miss Pooja. Like,
yeah. That's always tough about the midline. I always talk to your dad about that. I was like, he's like, Elmer, what should we do with the midline? I'm like, have you guys ever thought about changing the weekend? Like, you know,
Well, yeah, because it conflicts with Bruin now.
Bruin
Right?
and like the gazillion weddings on
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, that'd be one recommendation.
Like basically when Bruin started, did you I know like you work with Bruin, or like you played Dhol for a lot of like teams, right?
I performed there once, I think at Bruin. I think it was 9 or 10 is when I went there, and I just performed once. That's the only time I went to like Bruin, like the actual comp. I've only been to the comp once, and then I just done there a couple of the parties recently. That's it, like within the last few years.
Yeah. Like okay. I mean, we didn't even talk about that, but like, I also remember you have like a feature. I've never seen a Dholi who gets a feature on a song with that Ravi.
Oh.
That's like I've never been like. I mean, maybe Mitch Hire he gets that.
Yeah, I think.
But
yeah.
But like that was like
That was
that's
cool.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
That was song. I think it was a Puppy Gill, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, we recorded that in San Francisco. I
Oh,
remember. Yeah.
that's-
One night.
Oh, yeah,
One night
yeah,
in San
that's
Francisco, down middle of downtown.
But
Smacking.
I mean that's the thing. Like you're a Yuba City product.
Yeah.
You're seeing like somebody from Yuba City do that in like the entertainment Panjabi scene. That's a big deal. You know.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, like I said, most people here just like they're kind of known as like a farmer, a spendu, kind of type of guy. But it's not true.
Yeah, definitely.
People don't have the knowledge. They say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm from San Jose, right? Born and raised. I'm from the Bay, South Bay. I grew up my whole life, lived there, and like even like my non-Punjabi friends, when I tell them I'm going to Yuba, they're like, "Oh, like you're gonna go like the farmlands and the village and all that." I'm like, "Yeah," but I think now, at least with Simran, like, because I grew up coming here every summer, right? I have a Chacha that has a peach orchard, and we would go there in the summer, and we would have fresh peaches. And I think people in Yuba, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, because you grew up here, like you guys kind of take pride in that a little bit, and it's like a little bit of a term of endearment. Like Simran will refer to Yuba as the band sometimes. So it's like this is we take pride in our town, I guess.
I mean, that's any town. Anybody from any town, you
Right.
should always rep your city, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's common sense. I mean, I don't know why people like wouldn't,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
People from the Bay are proud to be from the Bay.
For sure,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. That's like, Bay is like
Yuba City, like, because I went to school in India. Yuba City has a name like all over the world. You could mention San Jose to a Punjabi in India, and they might not know. But you mention Yuba City, they're like, oh Hanji, oh yeah, you know, like that's a thing. You can ask any Punjabi Yuba City. So
I feel like Yuba is like the best balance out of like the heavy Punjabi towns. If you compare it to like Brampton or like Surrey, like we're heavy saturated there. Like you go to like a restaurant, that's all you see is just Punjabis. So there's kind of like feeling of being in Punjab. But if you're here, like I feel like we got that good equilibrium, the good balance. Good balance. You go to a restaurant, you might see a handful of Punjabis, but you also see like other ethnicity. But like when you're in Surrey or Brampton, forget about it. All
Brampton's its own like Punjabi town.
Oh, it's just like Punjab outside of Punjab. Surrey too. Surrey's like if you just drive down the street in Surrey, like you look next to you, it's uncle,
Scott
and
Road,
next to you, the youngster. It's all Punjabi.
I mean that's the thing too. Like with that saturation though, you have these artists that are coming out from there, right? Surrey and Brampton. Yuba City is next on the map. You know, that's a next place we're gonna. You know.
Yuba.
I mean, you started it. You're already paving the way.
Hopefully there's like Jazzy guys are doing good. You know what I mean? They're coming out with fire.
Boys,
he's super talented, bro. Wish him the best.
Yeah, they had that song Anthem, and they just had that 762 flow drop.
They have a lot of good songs if you listen to them. So shout out to those guys doing good things.
Yeah. Do you feel like, I mean, like Simran mentioned, right? There's a lot of people that even come from Punjab. Like Sidhu came from Punjab, and then he went to, I forget if it was Surrey or Brampton, that he like
Brampton.
He like, you know, kind of made his roots there. With people like, you know, Justy Gosel and Junga Randhawa and the Anthem Boys, like, do you feel like Yuba is kind of next to like maybe produce like a big, not necessarily like a big star, but like do you think Yuba might become like a breeding ground, so to speak, of like more Punjabi artists?
Oh, that's tough to say, man.
Yeah.
Each generation changes, right? So like for us, like our generation, it was hard to get like our parents to like let me play the dole.
Right.
Yeah. It's probably easy with your parents, like okay, do it on the side. My mind was just like, no, you know what I mean? Like, not really like no, but like why, you know? Like, and then they got used to it. It was cool, but like I feel like if my kid wants to do like pursue art, we're gonna push him. You know, if he doesn't, it's okay. But if he wants to do it, you're gonna push him towards it, right? And then with that push, I think you could develop artists anywhere. Like, you know, I mean, that the next generation is gonna be different.
So. I remember I saw on a podcast you said like when you were playing Dholi, or someone said it was like Marasi on the come.
Yeah, that was like when I first started it. Like you got to think like. First of all, we were in Yuba. Like, I don't think there was anybody else who even played here, you know what I mean? And then, like, your family gets wind of it, and the extended family, like, well, we don't do that, you know what I mean? It's like, this is, like, not the cast to do this. We were like, you know, I'm like, the way I was raised, there was no difference. Everybody just, like, I didn't know about the caste system until I was way older, until someone said this to me. I was like, yo, Dad, what's Marasi? I'm like, what? And he's like, it's nothing. Like, you know, it's just like back in the day they had a different title and things were different. Basically, he just told me it makes no sense. It's nothing in America at this day and age. And it was weird though, man. Like I was like, wait, what? And it didn't click. As being like a teenager, it didn't click. I'm like, well, why are people separated by like what they do back then? And then like it gives you think about it in a historical way, okay, it makes sense. In like, you know, like early 1900 Punjab, or, you know, 1920s Punjab, 40s Punjab, whatever. But to this day and age, even at that time, this, you know, 20 years ago, I was like, well, this doesn't make sense to me, and I'm still gonna do it. We're human.
I got similar treatment like that actually. I mean, just more of peers telling me like, oh, you play the dole, like, you know, like looking at me differently because really? Like it was in India, but like but I mean just looking at me differently for playing the dole, like, you know.
Were they like Indian descent, or
they were from India? And like India, just I was gonna play dole for like some party, like some celebration, and they're like, you know, like
in
joking,
India,
joking about it.
I
mean, it's sad, because Marasis, I mean, man, they're like they're super talented.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I mean, from my peers, I got like none of my peers said that to me. Like people I was going to school with, they thought it was like the coolest thing ever. Or like my friends, they're like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I always got full support from like the friends, the boys, and even my siblings. My brother-in-law was like a huge he was always pushing me like, do it, you know, and you're good. And he always, like, when one guy could think about, like, I can say, yo, my brother-in-law, his name is Dal, and he's like, dude, just do it, you're badass, just do it. He's always like, giving me the right words, because I don't have a brother, I have 4 sisters.
Oh yeah.
And then my brother-in-law was like my brother. I've known him since I was like a kid. Obviously my sister and him got married a long time ago, but he was always like, tell him, don't listen to that noise, you're gonna do it and you're gonna be good. Yeah.
I mean, there's that conversation, and then there's the other side to it, which is like, regardless of caste, is like, you can't be a full-time Dholi, right? You got to have a career. You got to be going to school or doing something. Like for me, I grew up playing baseball, which is like super random for like a Punjabi guy. Like, I feel like the last brown kid that I ever played against was like after middle school, and then I played into community college. So like, for my parents, there was the support, because my parents are a little bit younger relative to yours and others, but there was always kind of like that hint of like, all right, but like, what do you really want to do?
Right.
So do you feel like that mindset kind of motivated you or deterred you or anything? Like, did you kind of get that same treatment at all about Dholi or DJing as well?
So like, like they were like, you know, I think at the time I was like still a teenager, so like, he's gonna do it on the side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I still did. I was always a student, and I was working, and I would just play because I loved it, you know what I mean? And it didn't really bother me that people said that. Honestly, I just had love for it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to practice, and then I met like Mitch guys, and I was like, dude, I'm not on their level. Like, I just need to practice.
How did you run into them?
You kind of just like, at that time,
there's not really social media. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and there was like
AIM or something like that.
Yeah, we would get each other's AIM. I think somehow you just get passed along. Like, you see them, like, we had phone numbers. We'd really like call each other, and I think we had a mass email. This is my AIM, this is my AIM, and then we'd talk on that here and there. But like most of the time, everything was done through email. But yeah, it was just weird. Like at that time, you just hear from the grapevine. Like, I have a cousin who was in Bhangra, and he knew of Raju. And I think I saw Mitch for the first time, I think, on a Midla video. He came in, I think, 2000. Him and Raju were playing together, and I was like, yo, I seen him flip the toll and play on like knee. I was like, yeah, I never seen that before. You know what I mean? So just like that, the Midla DVDs.
Yeah. No, I
remember like the early 2000s, I used to scam through them, the ones I couldn't like go to, and I would like trying to see if there's a Dholi here, just to watch the Dholi.
Yeah. There was quite a bit of Dholis. Yeah,
back then, right?
Yeah. I remember we had. I mean, I don't know if you know him, but we had a Dholi. Harjeet uncle got him. His name was I think Simran, and he was
Simran. Yeah, cool guy. Yeah.
Did our he did a little Dhol.
Simran. I think me and him he's an old friend. Yeah, he was back in the day. He played too. He was solid. I think he's like a doctor now.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Him and his brother, they both played. His brother's really good too, and I think they're both in medicine.
Oh yeah. There another one because he's gone now. I mean, rest in peace. But you also played with Amar Gill, who has like this goated songs.
Dude, he's the homie, right? He was the friend. Like, we used to practice like with the whole team. And we would practice at his house, you know. I think one time we practiced in his Wendy's.
Oh, really?
It was closed. Wow. We didn't have another spot. And he's like, we could practice at the Wendy's.
Wow.
And then we'd go to his house. And yeah, man, rest in peace. He was a good dude, good man. I know he's probably, your parents knew him really well. Yeah. So, yeah, with me, we were just really close. And it sucks, but.
Yeah, you got some like videos on YouTube with them, like some goat.
Yeah, but that's at the Midland. I loved him. I loved his voice. I loved his whole vibe, man.
Yeah, we actually spoke to Harjeet uncle, and he mentioned you guys actually won a performance with Malvegida.
Yeah, it was in
Chicago.
At Chicago, yeah, it was in Chicago. I was debating was it Chicago or Milwaukee, but it was Chicago. We won a whole I think one of them came to the midline and seen us.
Oh wow!
One of like the committee members or something. They flew us out like to participate in a comp. I can't remember if it was a punk rock comp or it was like a kid rock comp, but we won whatever it was, or we placed. I can't remember, but yeah, we were juiced at that
because
time.
Like you don't really, I don't really see it. I mean, it's not actually a thing at the Midla anymore, I believe. But like
it's like I think I've seen it like a few times, like through like Gabru TV, like people do it as exhibition.
Oh, okay.
Like throughout, like somewhere different. But I don't think they do it. I don't think it's regular. Does anybody do it at the Midla? I haven't gone to the Midla since 2012, I think, or 13. So I don't. Does anybody
if
do it?
If we got the Midla's dates changed, would you come back?
Oh, dude, like, yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, I would definitely try. It's just, if it's not like an event, then it's a wedding going on, like a family or friend circle. So it's like this impossible weekend, you know, so it's tough. Definitely. Unless I mark it off, but then it's always like someone in your circle or extended circle getting married, and you're like, you can't miss it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But I do want to go.
Yeah, I think like this is kind of random segue, but like part of your brand as a DJ, and I know you mentioned having a brand as a Dholi, having like a unique element, and this is just part of it that I notice, or something that comes through for me when I watch your stuff on Instagram, and I don't know if this is on purpose, but your work ethic. Right? I feel like you mentioned you're big into sports, right?
Yeah.
Where did that sort of come from, like that motivation? I know like Simran's dad, or Jasdeep, so we were watching the European Championship a couple weeks ago, and he was mentioning that your dad was on the national soccer team for India.
Yeah, my dad's my dad's 86. He still works.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And to us, for years and years now, probably for about 15 years, telling him to stop, and he's not.
Yeah.
He just needs that, like, something to do to make himself feel productive. And I get like that. Like, I can chill for 2 days, but on the third day or like the second day, if I'm not doing something productive or like hitting a workout, I get anxiety. So I don't know, maybe it's a genetic thing, right? But I get like antsy, you know, like so like I feel like I have to do something productive or do something, right? I think I get it from him. But my sisters, like, I have 4 sisters, they all hustle hard too, man. Like they're hustlers. My mom, when she was younger, was hustling too. So I think it's just in our blood. Maybe that generation. I also grew up watching Michael Jordan, and like, if you watch Michael Jordan, listen to any one of his interviews, he just always talk about putting in work. You know, so I think maybe it got embedded in me like that. Then after after Jordan, I'm a LeBron fan. He talks about the same stuff, and he's 40 and he's still killing it, right? So it's like, you know, like, I think it's just stuff like that kind of like, I think it's more of the Jordan thing, right? That was like, I have VHSs of Jordan's interviews, like all his old games. I mean, now they're all on YouTube, but I still have them. Like my little scribble handwriting when I was a kid, like, just probably from there, I'm thinking. Yeah. And plus, like, if you want to like do something like this for a living, like, now you can, right? Like if you want to be like a Panjabi DJ, you can do it for a living. Even like, I think you were talking about Dhol player. I feel like Dhol players can now do it for a living, because there's, especially in Cali, there's so many events. And then if you're good, or if you're really like branded, you're gonna travel, right? And so I think you can do both for a living and do decent, right? If that's the way you want to go, right? But I think when I got going, everybody was kind of doing it on the side, and so I was like, no, I'm just gonna like push it really hard, so I don't have to like work, or I don't want to work, you know what I mean? So it's worked so far.
Do you kind of feel like, because now there's people that are kind of younger, my generation, like Ashi and those guys, like, do you feel like they kind of have those same vision? I don't know if you've worked with them, younger guys. Yeah, I do. Anybody who's a good Dholi right now, Ashi, Suki, or whoever, like, there's so many events that you can do it. Right. There's enough work.
You'll probably have only 2 days off a week, which will probably be like Monday or Tuesday. Right. But every other day, you're going to be busy.
Right.
So it's like, there you go, 5 days a week with 2 days off. You know what I mean? So it's there, you can. But you could do that with anything you put your heart to, right?
For sure. I mean, it's refreshing to hear that, because like I said, I grew up in Silicon Valley, right? So like a career in any sort of arts, whether it's music or acting or anything, that was like completely off the table. Like for us, it's like, you got a career in tech, private equity, investment banking, like you go to school and you like, you know, you can do your school plays, and I did Bhangra until I was like in 7th grade, and then my mom was like, you got to choose between that and baseball, you can't have more than one. I was like, all right, like, I'm better at baseball, do that.
Well, at least she didn't burn you up.
No, for sure. But
like I see like parents like, go here, then you got to go here, then you got to go here. Like, bro, that's a lot.
Definitely.
No, it's definitely good to hear that, because like you see the product of like what comes out of that, right? Like when someone's able to like take a chance on themselves, right? like you did, I don't know exactly like what the thought process was behind it, but I know you mentioned before that you worked in banking, right?
Yeah.
And then you know, situation happened with your company and you didn't work out, and then you ended up where you are now.
Yeah.
So like it's good to see people like you kind of setting that example, especially in our culture where it might be frowned upon a little bit.
Yeah.
For people to like, yeah, you can pursue a career doing something that you're passionate about and still do pretty well for yourself.
Yeah, like so after I got in banking, I worked for Apple, and it was really like work from home before working from home, like everybody does now. I think you said you work from home.
Yeah.
Like pre-COVID, work from home was kind of rare, right? It was getting there, but it wasn't like how it is now.
Yeah.
And like I had a decision to make. I was like, you know, I'm gonna stop working. And here I have this newborn kid, and I'm gonna do this full time. And it was fine with me. I knew I'll be all right.
Yeah.
But like, the other generations don't see that.
Right.
You know, they're gonna be like, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like, you know, like.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily things worked out.
Yeah. Because usually it works in the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Like
I've seen a lot of guys be like, "Yo, I'm gonna quit this now because I got one in the oven." And
exactly.
and
Definitely.
I gotta stop now, you know, and take it more seriously. I'm like, well, to me, I always thought, well, what if you just like took that more serious and you can do it, because I know your heart's there instead of going back to like a 9 to 5 traditional 9 to 5, right? So,
yeah, no, definitely.
I'm blessed it worked for me.
I know you had you have your own podcast, and you brought BPR Crew on there, and he's like, you know, one of the OG DJs in this area. Do you have do you know like others that were in Yuba City and maybe like still, I mean, this is just more for like a historical context for DJs in this area, or just like in California, who are still like running it up like BPR?
Ooh, I don't know if anybody's been that long. I think all of his peers that started when he did kind of stopped about, I want to say maybe 10 to 12 years ago max. The other guy I knew that kind of started with him, he kind of got into finance, and he kind of came back, and then I think he stopped. I think he's the only one from his gen, you know. You go to England, there might be like guys still doing it like that started when he did, but here, man, I can't think of anybody who started when he did, because he started in, I believe it was 1990.
Yeah.
And he's still going.
Yeah, he's still going. Yeah.
So, and he's good still. Like, solid. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know anybody.
I mean, it's just like a more question historical context, because we don't like. I mean, we know DJs in the present era, and then we kind of know people like when we were, you know, growing up.
Yeah.
But besides that, like I know Fusion Roadshow was the thing in Yuba City, and like Sacramento area, and then you have BPR Crew, and you have like Wicked, and there wasn't like, I don't know, there wasn't anybody. Yeah, I think Suki's probably been doing it the longest, man. He started in '90. Yeah, and he probably has a good, 10-year advantage on anybody else I could think of that started like that. I mean, that's a whole decade of experience over the next most experienced person. And it's pretty cool. Like, I mean,
really cool.
I mean, both you and him are both like successful. That you did a tour in like the UK. Like, was that you went to the UK?
I went to the UK for vacation.
Oh, you just went to vacation?
Yeah.
Because I'm
going in a couple of weeks. I have an event out there, and then I'm going for a wedding too, like my family. But it worked out great. So, I haven't done like a tour out there.
So you're just like, because you're like friends with like DJ Dips. I think I saw you were with like True School too.
Yeah, I went to go visit him. Luckily, it was cool because I love his music, and he knew who I was, and I was like, oh, cool, man. I can come over, and I got to go to the studio, his house. Went to eat with him and then just chilled with him, and it was dope.
Oh, wow.
And then Dips is like an old friend. We called Dips out for one of the boys' weddings like a few years ago, and he came, and then we just became close since then. So legend, cool. Munda's good guy.
Yeah. Do you feel like because of people like you kind of making, like you mentioned before, DJing, like it's possible now to like make it a career, whereas people might not have been aware of that recently? Like, do you see more DJs now maybe taking a chance and popping up in the future? Because like Simran said, like besides Suki Dosanjh, like we didn't know of any. There weren't a lot of DJs, at least in this area. But do you think that number's gonna increase going forward?
I don't know. I think more. I guess it depends if more people are gonna do it. I think are you saying from like a parental support aspect, or just gonna do it and say?
I think a little bit of.
Because I think there's always been people who do it and try it and then they stop because they get that. You're always gone, or you out late, you know, or you're. You know, a lot of the guys will take advantage of it and turn it into like a fun thing where they're just out there drinking and having a good time, and that's all they're doing, and they're not taking it seriously. So their peers, their family see and be like, dude, this is not good for you. Yeah. You know, I've seen that. Yeah. You know, so I hope more people were like, okay, we can do it, because it's nothing more than starting a different different business. Yeah. Say someone wanted to be a chiropractor or a lawyer, are we going to set it up the same way, an LLC? You could dump into your 401k, your retirement, you know, you can get benefits, you know, and it's just the same as that. What's the difference, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you're an entrepreneur at the end of the day. You're starting your own business, working for yourself. Yeah.
But I think for us, will the future generations respect it? Like, and the parents be like, okay, well, we know someone who did it. And like, we know Suki, he's doing it since 90. It's 2025 almost. Yeah, go ahead, give it a shot. Yeah. You know, there's something in it if you could do something for 35 years. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What else we got?
You want to jump into the rapid fire questions, or?
Oh, you guys got rapid fire?
Another thing that I wanted to ask you, going back to music production, right? Like you're in Panjabi music, that's your scene, but you're also a hip hop fan. Would you venture into like producing like English, like hip hop music as well?
I'm working on like one track right now with an upcoming artist. It's kind of like I just got the meat and bones going for it, but it's like it's mostly like he's really good, and it's more hip hop than it is Punjabi. Yeah, but I'm gonna add a Punjabi touch, right? But the vocals are mostly hip hop and good, you know. Nice. So I would if I like it, like what I hear. I mean, if it's just all rap with no Punjabi aspect. Yeah.
I mean, there's that artist A.R. Paisley, you know, he doesn't even sing in Punjabi, but he does like, you know, caters to like Punjabi music.
Well, that's a feature, right? He mostly featured, right?
I think he does some of his own, but I mean, in general,
mostly like the hits are he's on
like he's in what's the 410, right? Like he's in there, right? So he's featured in there, right?
Yeah,
so
Drippy as well.
Oh yeah, Drippy. That's
Drippy. Yeah, he's in Drippy.
Yeah. So like, I mean. Yeah. On that aspect, that's a feature, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Feature is cool. Yeah, you get like 1-2 bars in, or you know, you get a couple lines in. It's cool. Yeah. I thought you were talking about whole hip hop.
Are you looking at like a whole hip hop, like where it's like, you know, you're singing in English and then you're also
the one I would be down for, like there has to be some rapping in Punjabi.
Okay.
If it's all hip hop,
it's not your style.
I mean, I can do it, but it's not going to be something I'm into.
Right.
Okay. You know what I mean? You have to be into it. Right?
Yeah. I know a lot of us like that. We want to hear like that Punjabi aspect with like, you know, there might be some English in there. I mean, that resonates actually with all of us. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit is good. Like I'm good with like a little balance. Even 50-50. Like there's a 52 bar song, and then you know 33 of them, or you know half of them, whatever the number of the half is.
Fateh does that. Fateh does that a lot.
Fateh, badass. Bohemian. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like those probably the two guys I like the most in that genre is Bohemia and Fateh. Yeah.
And then like you will see, like even recently, like Diljit just dropped a song with the rapper who's NLE Choppa, Muhammad Ali. Yeah. So
Muhammad Ali.
I think sometimes, at least personally, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but like I understand from a business perspective, if you're Diljit, right, you want to get your name out there, you want to get your brand out there to audiences that might not be familiar with you.
Right.
But I do feel like at times the art does get a little bit compromised, just a little bit, right? Yeah. Like, no, I'm not saying like, oh, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, because I think, and Simran, I think you agree with me on this, like Punjabi music has never been more mainstream.
Yeah.
Right. Do you feel like there's pros and cons to that a little bit in terms of like preserving the authenticity and the culture and the art?
Yeah, because it feels like we're desperate for mainstream.
Yeah.
What do we want to get on? Okay, cool, we bring it out in the front, right? But like the roots are still Punjabi music. So if you look at like a Diljit collab song like Chauffeur, if you go watch Diljit live and his last song is Chauffeur, but if you listen to Chauffeur, it's dole going.
Yeah.
There's a tumbi, like a tourniquet.
Yeah,
they call it
Icky produced it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Icky, when he produced it, it's all like hip hop style.
Oh,
but if you
okay.
go live,
Oh, if you go live,
he's playing
okay.
it. There's dole sample going, like guitars going, Punjabi riffs going. It's not all that hip hop. You know what I mean? And if you go to, like, I went to Karnajla's show.
Yeah.
And all the stuff, even his collabs, all of the stuff that's produced in a hip hop vibe or funk vibe, right? They make it folk. They
Yeah,
have a
yeah, I
dolki,
noticed that.
They
Yeah.
have a dolki sample in the
Yeah,
back.
I
You
noticed
hear it,
that.
You hear the tumbi, the dad, right? So they go
They're
back to that
Punjabi.
a lot,
Right,
right?
yeah.
So it would be cool, and I mean it's working, I guess. I don't know, like I'm not knowledgeable enough to know, like, you know, what the X's and O's are on it. Like, are they paying the hip hop guys?
Yeah.
Are they just okay, yo? And then, you know, you paying Sweetie?
Yeah.
I mean,
You know-
these Punjabi artists, like, you look. I mean, just looking at the views on YouTube, they're racking up views, and
Yeah.
we have our own space where,
Yeah.
like, you know, you don't really need them. It's just kind of cool because we're from the U.S., so it's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool to see like a
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool to see him. To me, the coolest thing was he was on the Tonight Show.
Oh, yeah.
That was like,
Yeah.
I think that, and Coachella was
Yeah.
really
Coachella
cool.
was sick. Punjabi,
You know,
yeah.
but Tonight Show to me was just like, because I love Tonight Show, right?
Yeah.
And like Jimmy Fallon is great, right? But like you're going into that space, a Punjabi artist with a bug and a torla, like that was, I think, the biggest thing that doesn't get the most credit.
Yeah.
It's usually the live tours or the Coachella, but I think the Tonight Show.
that hit my dad. That touched my dad.
Yeah.
a lot.
Same
like
here,
he was
yeah.
like he was like
Man.
that is like the
That
deal.
is huge. That's like the biggest thing that doesn't get talked about. The Tonight Show was like the biggest thing you can do for like a Punjabi artist.
Yeah.
Right.
And on there, he is fully Punjabi authentic, like you
Yeah.
said, right? He's wearing a bug, like he's
Yeah.
You speak
singing.
no English.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah.
dope. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
good props, man. Like, but that was big.
Yeah.
But so you can do things like that. Like, that's fire. But
Yeah.
these collabs with artists, I'm like 50-50 on them. You know, like the from a music standpoint, I wish there was like a Punjabi element to it. But I get it why there's not. But I guess it's working. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I haven't really ran the numbers. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think we can get into this rapid fire session. Yeah, first of all, man, we really want to express our gratitude for you for coming on. Again, first guest, first in-person episode. Like I said, not a bad place to start right here live in Yuba City.
Yeah.
A Yuba City guy. So, yeah, man, thank you so much from both
man.
of us,
Wish
man.
you guys the best, man.
Yeah,
Go bigger and better,
Yeah.
man. I love it.
Yeah, appreciate you. So yeah, man. First one, besides Jazzy B, because we know you're a huge Jazzy B fan. Who's been your most played artist this year?
Ooh, man, that's a good one. That is really good. I have to think.
That's fine. We can always cut it in
okay.
between. You know?
I'm gonna have to really think
Yeah.
because I listen to so much music, so I'm like narrowing it down to like 3 guys, and I'm shoot, man, that's
You
really
can
good.
you can give us your top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'd have to say Aujla's in there,
Okay.
right? Khan's in there, Diljit.
Yeah.
Shoot, who I listen to now, Raf.
I was hoping Rap would be
Yeah,
in there.
Raf for sure. I'm trying. I feel like I'm gonna go Deep Jandu. If you look at like Deep Jandu, what he puts out, like firing, I feel like he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
I mean,
Like-
he created a lot of this hip hop scene in like back in the like I think in 2016 or
Yeah.
maybe earlier. He dropped with Ellie Mongert.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
yeah.
Even like I like it best when he sings himself.
Oh, yeah.
And like his music production, we all know is good, right? But like when he was with Aujla, he
Oh yeah.
a lot of that music I liked, and then but just him in general, like he's dropped a lot of good stuff with Amrin, and then now with Ninja. It's fire,
Ninja is
man.
awesome. Ninja- that
Ninja's
guy-
good. I like Ninja like when he first started, and now when he's with Deep, like
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, just fire, man.
Yeah, he actually. I mean, I know Deep Jandu has like a song way back in the day. He actually has with Miss Pooja.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Sure, I'm trying to. It's like a duet.
Yeah, it's a duet.
Yeah. Damn, I need to hear this.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I
You
gotta
have to
look
send
it
to
up.
me.
Yeah.
Okay. Man,
But
I
it's
didn't know
like,
that.
yeah, just-
was it like when she was like mass producing like songs
I
and duets with everybody?
don't know. I think it was like 2008, 2009.
Yeah, because that's like around, I think, when Deep Jandu started. He's been around for a minute.
I know I remember that, and I also remember him dropping a song with like DJ KSR.
Yeah.
But they were like super underground, I think. Like he was not on the like map.
Like back in the day, He might even have a different name back then.
Yeah. So speaking about another like like underground artist, who's like an underrated artist that you feel people either should know more about or will know more about soon?
Like that's like on the come up, you mean?
Yeah, on the come up.
That's new, huh?
I mean, he might already be been doing it for a while.
Or someone that you feel deserves a little bit more love.
Like credit.
Like we like a guy who's coming up recently, Dhillon.
Yeah.
He's like,
I heard you guys talk about him, but I don't know. I couldn't tell who he was, but
I mean, he wears a mask or something.
He paints his face. Yeah.
He's from Cali.
Oh, is he?
He's based. I think he's born in Punjab, but he's based out of Cali.
Oh, sick. Where in Cali?
I'm not sure. Maybe you could help out.
Yeah. Shoot. I mean, man, there's just like so many. I feel like JK in England. Okay. I feel like he's been doing it around. He's been doing it for a while, but I feel like he's so good that like I wish he would get like I wish more people knew. I feel like a niche group. Like,
you
guys, a homie.
He came here once.
He came to my son's first birthday party.
Yeah, I think I saw out. Like a. Yeah.
But like we're pretty. We talk regularly, and I hung out with him in England when I went. But and I'm gonna see him again in a couple weeks.
I thought he's not underground because he's got like that Gabru Punjab album that he's got.
I feel like he should be like out there more. Like I feel like people should maybe the respect's there, but maybe I just don't see. I feel like I wish he had, just like he deserves like the most. Like he's such a sick vocalist.
Such a good vocalist. Yeah, especially with True School.
Yeah. I feel like they're a little more underground to like the gen from today. If you go up to like a 22, 23-year-old, they probably know Sukha, right? Or like, but they're not gonna know JK. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? So
there's a guy who also like kind of performs to Gurj Sidhu.
Oh yeah.
He's got like that folk.
A song called Backyard. Right. Yeah. That he's dope. Yeah. Fire, high voice.
Somebody, I mean, again, really appreciate your support and coming on here. Right. Who would you like to see us have on next? And would you be able to help us get them on?
I can try. Obviously, you guys need to have Jazzy on, and I will definitely try. Yeah. If when he's in town, or if he's in town, we'll see if we can make it happen for sure.
That would be
I mean, name the podcast after him for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be a dream come true, I think, for both of us.
I'll do what I can.
I appreciate it.
And I mean, again, we're just asking.
No worries. No, I got you.
Yeah, no pressure. But
no, got you.
Yeah. And then last, what is something you got going on and want to share?
Got going on. I have a lot of songs I'm working on. That like originals, not just remixes, but a lot of originals that I'm probably gonna put out like the rest of the year. I'll probably have like 2 come out, but not nothing really that I can be like, yo, I'm working on this, and I'm not gonna lie and be like, yo, I have this coming up, big things coming. No.
You mentioned Bolivir, but I haven't heard that guy in a minute.
Yeah, he wrote this track, and then he has like one line on the track too. So
yeah, he's a hella good writer. He writes actually a lot of people's songs.
And the track is actually modern, where you can actually understand the vocals, and like the terms are like words we use today.
Who were the 3 artists again?
Raju Joel, Sani Surinder, and Bopal.
Okay. Oh yeah, Sani Surinder.
Yeah. So I think you guys will like it. You guys are folk heads. It's a pure folk track. Lots of dole in there. Like kind of fast paced.
You playing dole in there?
No. I just I think it's actually. I don't know who plays on there, but it's sample based.
Is it? I know like Jasraj Lailina. He has like that.
He has his own recording. This is not him. I believe this is maybe somebody from India.
Oh yeah.
That's playing, and then we sample use them. We use the sample.
Are these like next songs you're coming out with mostly? I mean, you said you did have a hip hop. These are all like folk.
This one's pretty folk. This one's pretty dissy. Yeah. So it's coming out on the 50th. It's called Cactus Club Bolnia.
Oh shit.
So it's kind of written towards people who go to Cactus Club.
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna drop it on the 15th. So
yeah, that place like out here, you know, we got like Applebee's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really hit, but over there, Cactus Club is like
Hey,
the
Applebee's,
place to be.
Applebee's hits. Applebee's never go wrong. Applebee's, Chili's, you know, Red Robin, they always hit.
Yeah, Chili's and Red Robin.
Yeah,
Definitely.
But yeah, that's like but they're a little more like on a fancy end,
Yeah.
right? It's like a more like a.
They're on the short they have that one waterfront in Vancouver.
That's where. Yeah. That's I forgot what it's called. I've been to that one.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact name for it. But.
Yeah. Very last thing before we let you go. I know, like we mentioned, this is a big day for our podcast, right?
Yeah,
First
awesome.
in person episode, first guest. So we did want to express our gratitude, and we got you a little gift.
You guys didn't have to get me anything, man.
Just to thank you so much for your support
man,
and for
appreciate
coming
it.
on,
Thank
man.
you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It means a lot. You want me to open it on here? Or
It's
what?
up to you. It's up to you.
Let's see. Oh.
Yeah.
I see red. I see an NBA logo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we know you're a big
All
LeBron
right.
guy.
Yes, I am.
So,
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't have this one. I just have 2 Laker jerseys.
Oh, there you go.
And I've been actually wanting to get this one. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure,
appreciate it,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
I think we're
Love
good.
it.
Good to go.
Yeah, we're good.